Hi, this is Grace from the camping department, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about kayaks. So, right here in front of me, as you can see, is a kayak, and we're going to get started with the parts of the boat. So, the front of the boat is called the bow. The back of the boat is called the stern. An easy way to remember that is if you go, I bow forward and shake my stern. I bow forward and shake my stern. So, one more time. Bow, front, stern, back. The place where you sit inside of when you're kayaking, so this place right here, that is called the cockpit. Around the top of the cockpit is the cockpit rim. Inside, right here, is your seat. It might be a little hard to see from the camera, but if you look inside, there are going to be foot pegs inside of the cockpit for you to brace your feet up against while you're paddling. The top of the boat is called the deck of the kayak. You also will have grab loops on the front and the back of the boat. This particular boat also has a place to store some gear with some cord. On the bottom of the boat, you have the keel. That's this part that sticks out right here. That helps keep your boat going straight. And finally, on most boats, not all boats, but a lot of them, you're going to have a drain plug, which is right here on the back of the boat. So your drain plug is used to get that last little bit of water that may have ended up in your boat out of the boat before you put it away. If you have a lot of water in your boat, you're going to use the cockpit to dump it out, but that last little bit is going to go through the drain plug. Now, there are lots of different types of kayaks. This one right here is a recreational kayak. It's pretty basic. It has a very large open cockpit. It likes to go straight because of how it's built. It doesn't turn very easily. It doesn't tip very easily. And it's a great boat to just get out on the water and kind of enjoy yourself with. So a great all-around boat if you're doing basic kayaking on flat water. There are also what are called whitewater boats. Those are boats that are built for whitewater or rapids. So those boats, they're probably going to be a little bit shorter. They're going to be a bit rounder. So the front of the boat's going to be a little rounder. The back of the boat's going to be a little rounder. The entire bottom of the boat is probably going to be smooth and round. So unlike this boat, which had a very pointy keel, it's going to be round on the bottom. That helps the boat to turn more easily. They're also a little bit more tippy, but they're really good for whitewater because you can maneuver super easily. There are also touring kayaks, which are very long, very pointy, and give you a lot of space to store gear. They like to go straight because, again, they're very long and very pointy. So those are main types of kayaks. Most kayaks nowadays are going to be plastic. Every so often you can see a really fancy wooden kayak potentially. There are now even pop-up kayaks, which are pretty cool. You can fold them up and unfold them. So they're a lot more easily stored than something like this. Kayaks are really great for individual paddlers. Obviously there are tandem kayaks, but most kayaks are just single solo boats. You can do a lot more with kayaks when it comes to things like whitewater and kind of traveling around, just because they're a little bit more easily carried than a canoe. You can access parts of water bodies with kayaks that you couldn't with other types of boats. And a really cool part about them is you can pretty much be connected to your boat. So in a kayak, you can wear something called a spray skirt, which basically is a really tight waterproof skirt that's going to come up to right about here on your waist, and it will actually fit around the rim. It kind of makes you look like a mushroom. It'll fit around the rim of certain kayaks, not this one, but other types of kayaks, and it will keep you connected to your boat. It'll also keep water from entering the cockpit of your boat. So kayaks are really good if you're looking for some adventure, if you like to paddle on your own, or if you just want to try something new. Again, they're a little bit more easily carried than a canoe, and you can carry a kayak on your own, whereas carrying a canoe on your own can be a little trickier. With kayaks, you have kayak paddles. So you have the shaft of the paddle, and then you have the blade itself. With the blade, there is going to be a top and a bottom. If you look at this paddle, the longer side is the top. So you have a slightly longer side and a slightly shorter side. So this is the top of the paddle. If I go like this, you can see that there is a curve in that paddle. This is called the power face. So the concave side is the power face. That is the side you want to be facing you when you're paddling. So if I were to go paddling right now, I would sit in my boat, get my foot pegs all in, and I would hold my paddle like this, and this is how I would hold my paddle in the kayak. So that's the basics of kayaking.